In the next episode of Tax Loss Harvesting,
Yes, let's have the backstory here. Backstory for Romeo Power, for anybody that doesn't know, they make batteries, right? Or they put together batteries, and they were doing it for trucks for the most part.
yeah,
So if you look at their deck, this is why the SPAC thing is totally stupid. Never investing in SPACs again. And I put a
yeah.
lot of money and I lost a lot of money on Romeo Power. Not everything is Enphase for me, just so you guys
Mhm.
know. Okay.
Well, yeah, not all EV plays are made equal.
No, but people often ask, like, oh, YouTubers never lose money. Well, yes, we do.
Guys, if you haven't hit like and subscribe, please do so. Hit the notification bell and join our Discord. It is absolutely free. And if you really love us, which we know you do, if you're watching this, then you can become a patron. It's $4.99 to start. There's some extra perks on the Discord as well as some extra content that we're making just for you guys. Now back to the video. 35 cents.
I think because they probably were delisted and they were acquired. But let's discuss this for a second. That I did put in a bunch of money, and I'm not going to say exactly how much, but it was enough to hurt. And the stock kept falling. I did not wait until 35 cents. I sold out actually probably around $4. I forgot we were talking about it, around $4 or $5. So I lost 75% of the value. And I was like, no, it's not worth it. I would just rather buy more Enphase or more Tesla or anything else and not even worry about Romeo Power.
It's
So
also good for tax loss harvesting, considering the amount of crypto that we sold last year.
yeah, Romeo Power 35 cents. I'm not surprised because even 8 months, it was a while ago, we were talking about how they're not actually executing on the SPAC deck that they all sent out. Remember, we went over the deck even. I don't know if it was an episode, but we went over the deck and it's like, oh, wow, they're building this. They're doing these cool things. This is amazing. Look at their market. It's going to be huge. And this shows you just should not invest in unprofitable companies that are still building out literally critical infrastructure that if they don't build it out, then you're totally hosed unless you do a very small portion. And I think I put in a little
Very
bit too
small
much
portion.
money
Yeah.
into Romeo Power
Well, I,
without
I think
thinking.
too, we also started seeing the red flags. Like there was very little social media presence. The CEO sort of disappeared. We
He got
we
fired
saw
at some
this
point.
yeah, there was something weird going on with that company. And here, come to find out that they just tanked.
Yeah, so tax loss harvesting is an important thing to do, especially if you have positions you don't believe in. So I
Mm.
definitely did not believe in Romeo Power at $4, and at 35 cents, I think nobody believes in it, honestly. So let's lead to the news now that Nikola acquires Romeo Power, and let's read a little bit about this. We are pleased to complete the acquisition of Romeo and look forward to executing on the opportunities ahead.
I mean, we can't skip over like the irony of this. Like Nikola has been revealed to be just a company
Right.
run like, and it just seems like they deserve each other, you know, like
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, let's find out what they're actually buying because from every time I try to check on what Romeo is doing, I don't think they were doing much. Like the last article we read was like 6 months ago where they were moving into a new factory to try to make more batteries. It's like, were you even that far when Nikola decided to buy you? I mean,
yeah.
it's curious. The acquisition of Romeo will enhance Nikola's capabilities. Okay, that's already ridiculous.
From what to what?
No,
Like
hold on, here it is, allowing us to vertically integrate in an effort to accelerate product development and improve performance for our customers. Today's milestone further solidifies our commitment to transforming the transportation industry.
further solidifies our commitment to going bankrupt as quickly as we possibly can.
Nikola completed the acquisition of Romeo today through a second step merger of a wholly owned subsidiary of Nikola with and into Romeo. This sounds very a
Shady.
subsidiary of Nikola bought Romeo Power. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure this is a direct buy somehow. And I didn't know Nikola has extra companies just laying on the side buying things. So this is all interesting considering they don't actually make battery vehicle trucks yet. Are they releasing those?
What? Nikola?
Is Nikola releasing a battery vehicle truck because Romeo Power makes batteries for trucks?
Nikola's not releasing anything. Nikola will
Uh,
never release anything.
wait. I thought they were releasing the hydrogen powered truck. I thought that was
Oh
coming out.
yeah,
Like
I
that's
mean,
like
they're
really
what they
coming out.
say and what's actually going to happen. Let's be honest. I mean, look at read at the bottom about Nikola Corporation. Nikola Corporation is a designer and manufacturer of zero emission battery electric and hydrogen electric vehicles, electric vehicle drivetrain, vehicle components, energy storage systems, and hydrogen station infrastructure. Founded in 2015, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think it is. I think Romeo Power is the energy storage system.
Okay, well let's read this last bit. We don't have to read this whole thing. But here, as a result of the acquisition, shares of common stock of Romeo ceased trading as of the close of the market of October 14th. That's why we don't see that on
Mhm.
TradingView anymore. But it just closed and will no longer be listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wait, then what happens to my shares?
I searched Romeo Power purchase price, $144 million. Nikola to acquire battery pack supply, Romeo Power, in $144 million deal.
Okay.
So basically, you're getting around 35 cents or so per share. And I'm assuming tomorrow in your account or in the next day or two, you're
Right.
basically going to have that value times the number of shares.
Yeah.
This is a big lesson to show us that this is a shitty stock problem and a SPAC problem, and just betting on things that have no track record. Like, what we've learned a lot about these things in the last couple of years, that
Yeah.
we can bet a little bit on things that have no track record, but you should really, really stay away from those kinds of stocks until they prove something out.
The counter to that, people would say, but no, I want to get in early. I want to accumulate. Listen, the risk that you're taking trying to get in at that bottom price, it's not going to matter, right? So this idea of trying to get in so early and building this huge bag, you're just taking a much bigger risk. I know that the upside won't be as much, right? If it was 35 cents, say to a dollar, but if you've got some real news that gives you confidence to invest at a dollar, then that's okay. Or invest with a really small percentage of your portfolio.
This is a great example back to Tesla, because I love bringing it back there. We didn't invest in Tesla at IPO day, me and you. Like, at least I think you bought some, but we didn't have a big stake, and I
Right.
didn't
We
have
did
a big
not,
stake.
it was not nearly enough.
So
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, honestly.
when Tesla IPO'd, you didn't really know they were going to succeed. That was like a true startup where it could have
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah.
When I invested, it was already worth like 35, 40 billion dollars. Like, it was already like, oh my God, where's this going to go, to 80 billion dollars? That's what everybody was saying. Like, this is too
Yeah.
expensive already. And we see where it went, that we invested in a time when a lot of people thought it was overvalued at $40 billion.
At 40 billion. Yeah.
And that's when I went in heavier and you went in heavier. And dude, that went all the way to $1 trillion. We got our 15x's, okay? We didn't have to buy it at the $1 billion in order to get a 15x.
Right.
So
But not all companies are like that. Like Tesla is in an anomaly. And we covered this in another video, that this is one of those generational companies. Like, the next level from this is whatever replaces battery vehicles. Think about it. The technology that will replace battery vehicles to power the next level of human civilization probably doesn't exist yet, right?
I'm going
And
to argue
so
against that. I'm going to argue against that. It is a
you think it's
generational.
hydrogen? You think it's hydrogen?
No, no, no. Meaning that you're saying it's a generational company. I agree with
Yeah.
you. It is, but we have lots of opportunities in the stock market for these companies. Apple, in any time, 2000 to 2010, you could have bought it anytime.
Oh no, I'm not arguing that it's the only one.
Hold
But
on,
what I'm saying is,
Google, when it IPO'd at $80, and I didn't buy it because I was younger and it was too expensive at $80.
no, it IPO'd at $100, and I was like, ooh, that's
We
too
didn't
much.
understand these things yet, how big these things can get. For example, now we talk about Enphase a lot, and everybody's like, well, how big can Enphase get? It's now 40, 50 billion, 60 billion, maybe. I think it went up to at the peak. If it truly is the change of energy, the change of guard, let's say, from oil
Yeah.
to now solar, how big can that get? We don't know yet. That's the thing. Like, this could be another 10, 20x easily. So
But if you want to talk about Enphase particular, now we're just jumping around. Now this video is just about everything. If you want to talk about Enphase, I think that there is a limit. I think that in order for Enphase to be like $1 trillion company, to get there, they have to make more than inverters. They have to get into, like, they have to build a charging infrastructure. They have to get into massive battery storage. They have to expand the business, build upon the inverters. Like, Apple took the iPhone and then used that money and did the App Store, and then they built the watch, and they continue to innovate in addition to that, but that base is still the iPhone. So I think, yeah, that can be the same thing for Enphase, but they're not going to be $1 trillion company just selling inverters. They've got to do more than that.
well, I disagree with you completely there, because if solar is 1% and they actually are getting 50% of the market, or 40%, just do the math till it's around 50%. It can be totally multi hundreds of billions of dollars. Like you're saying, it can't. I'm not saying 500 or a trillion. I'm not giving a number here. I don't want to do that. But not to say it can't be hundreds of billions, that's a little bit, I don't know. I think it can be just
I
from the
don't.
inverter business. They are doing the battery thing. They are vertically integrating.
Yeah.
They are doing all of this energy stuff. So the point is that we did not have to buy Enphase at $1 in order to make our 10Xs. We were buying it when it was like 20 to 60 bucks, but by then it was already billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now it's 40 billion. Is there another 5x left in Enphase? Like, I think yes. So I think there's money to be made there. I don't need to go for a 100 bagger, which is like $100 million anymore, because, like, if you put a substantial amount into a good company, you can still retire pretty well.
The companies that have been mega successful, the companies that can be in the billions of dollars and still give you those massive gains are ones that build S curves on top of S curves on top of S curves. Even if you use the, the Google example, Google is much more than just a search engine now. And it would only reach a certain cap if it was just a search engine.
Google makes all its money from search, bottom line. Tesla makes all its money from cars, bottom line. Apple makes all its money from phones, bottom line. Those businesses are enough to get hundreds of billions of market cap for those companies.
Sure.
But Romeo Power, I did not need to go as heavy into Romeo Power when it had no track record and proved nothing. And so I went into it pretty heavy and then lost basically everything because I went into a company that has zero track record and was not worth investing in that as much as I put in, basically, right? I could have dollar cost average and done all that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just relating it to Tesla and Enphase that you could have went in way later after they had a track record and proved a lot, and you still would have had your 10Xs. That's my point.
I don't disagree with you, but all I'm saying is, although Apple makes money on like the sales of the phones, the amount of revenue that they make off of like the App Store and their other products and services it's growing. The phone also helps sell computers. It helps their other ecosystems. It gets people into the moat. You know what I'm saying? And Tesla, the same thing. It helps get people into the moat. If you have 2 Teslas in your house, what company are you most likely to get your solar from? You're probably more likely to get it from Tesla than you would say Enphase, if you have the Teslas there already, just because of the integration. So all I'm saying is that I think in order for Enphase to really grow and blow out, they need to have something where they don't just make money on you once. It's a subscription service.
Basically using your core business to grow your further businesses. Absolutely. Yes. I just mean that Romeo Power didn't make a damn dollar and we were buying into it too heavy. When you could have looked at companies like Tesla and Enphase at 40 billion or 30 billion, whatever, 10 billion, who knows? And you could have said, well, they have sold their product into the market. People love their product. I'm using their product. Oh, this is probably a good investment. I'm probably not going to lose all my money.
Better bet, yeah.
When we bought Romeo Power, I didn't go through all of that thinking. I just saw the deck, the SPAC deck, and I was like, this is a great business.
I mean, bull market euphoria is real, but you learn that like anyone can make a really nice looking deck. They can do a great presentation. They can have a great website, but there's much more to that, especially when you're parting with a substantial amount of money. If you're throwing a couple grand in there to see what happens, then it's a gamble. But I too went in heavier than I should have. And look, it's fine. I'm going to tax loss harvest. I'm going to still be able to benefit from that money, but I would have been better to take that money and put it directly into Enphase or directly into Tesla and not have to do any of this. This goes back to that video we did where you're going to regret this. It's the idea of like, there are companies that are sure bets and it's really boring. If you want to excitement of trading, it's really boring to just dollar cost average into Tesla for 5 years. But like, ultimately you're not investing to invest for the fun of it. You're investing, I would think, for the long-term freedom that it gives you. Right. And it might be boring, but yeah, there's a handful of great companies out there. And I think crypto, that if you just dollar cost average into these things over the long term, you're going to be really happy. And you might miss a couple of pops here and there on smaller things, but it will not come close to what you'll make.
By the way, we have a Discord.
What is a Discord? What is it? What do you Discord?
We have a free Discord here that we always chat about stocks. So come join us. It's free to join. And if you want to join our Patreon, it's only $4.99 to support us. I'm not even going to show the page. Just join the Patreon. I'll include a link right here for everybody to join. So if you're watching this, you better join. $4.99, less than a cup of coffee, right, Carlos?
Or less than a beer. At this point, I think we all need a beer.
But over here, we talk about all sorts of stocks. I mean, we have, obviously Enphase and we have Tesla that we sort of know are winners. And like you said, they're boring. Like we track it every day long, but it's just a waiting game, right? We just have to wait till 2030 to be rich. Yeah. That's it. And that's our Discord. Come join it. It's free, like I said, to just discuss. $4.99 if you want to support us. So click that right here or down below. So we're going to wrap this up. I said we're not going to talk about FUV again, but
there was a great comment on one of our videos. What the FUV is going on here, or something like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty clever.
Honestly, I wouldn't even go into it, but there seems like there's news breaking as we're posting these videos. That's the only reason we're talking about this.
Yeah, Arcimoto Key West, which is an independently owned business, is closing. Now, I looked up the news for that. I couldn't find anything on it. This is the Arcimoto Key West website where you can book an FUV or, I guess, a Roadster. If they're really going under, we shouldn't be able to do a rental. There it is.
What does it say?
FUV hourly rental. There is no availability for October 2022. It's over. They're closed next month. Okay, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. But once again, I just want to say clearly, if somebody knows for sure if they're actually going under and they're closing down this rental facility, let us know in the comments. And if they're not, obviously let us know.
This is the video that we did when I was able to actually test drive an Arcimoto in Santa Monica. And I posted our most recent video to Reddit. And I woke up to this response this morning. I had a blast last year giving Carlos his demo ride in Santa Monica for his video. I had a blast working for Arcimoto up until recently. Now, lots of dedicated Arcimoto employees are out of work, plus our shares are in the dirt too. Mark F's vision for the future of transportation is inspiring, but not being realized. I moved to Eugene to work for this company because of that vision and inspiration. I'm more than just sad about it. Thanks for the update. So there it is. The guy that gave me this test drive is out of work, and it's sad. I mean, he moved, apparently, he moved his whole life and family to Eugene. They had a bunch of stock options that's also worthless now. It's unraveling fast.
Yeah, I mean, that really sucks. And even but from his comments, by the way, he's saying it like he loved the vision, like he
Yeah.
wanted it to succeed. Not
Yeah.
it wasn't just a company he joined, it was like a mission, right? So
Well, you don't move to a place like Eugene, Oregon, unless you really believe in the mission. You've got to believe in it.
we want to thank you again, guys, for joining us. And obviously hit us up in the comments or on our Discord, totally free. Come join us, and we'll see you on the next one.